G'day fellas, welcome to a casted game. We are currently tracking the pros in the lead up to Genesis, and spawning in at the north of the map, it is Trebuchet. Now, for anybody wondering who Trebuchet is or what civ he's playing, he's playing the Abbasid Dynasty. And Trebuchet, now this is a little bit of an enigma. That's tough to say. Try saying that 5 times. An enigma. He is currently rank 1 on the ladder. We don't actually know who he is, but I have some theories. My theory at the moment is it is the Mister. And the reason why is because this guy is very slippery. Okay, whenever he is playing, he's always appearing offline, so I can never spectate him. I can never see what he's up to. And he hasn't been on his main account recently. And I know he's practicing for Genesis. I know he's practicing. So I think there's only a couple people who could actually get to rank 1, and the Mister is one of them. Now, if we take a look in the opposite side of the map, you will of course see spawning in on the southeast side of the map, it is Marine Lord, who is indeed gonna be going up against the Mister in the very first round of Genesis. Now, if you would like more information on Genesis, I'm gonna leave a link in the description as well as in the pinned comment as to how you can get that information. And it's going to give you all the juicy details because Genesis is happening this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to have 8 of the top players of Age of Empires 4. That's people like Marine Lord, the Viper, Hera, Casva, Vortix, Lucifron, and if I haven't mentioned Marine Lord, so some incredible pros. And of course, Marine Lord is today playing on the Mongols. And the Mongols are definitely a fan favorite, I would say, for most people. So we're going to be watching from his perspective and seeing what happens, opening with the Uvu. Now let's talk a little bit about the map that we're on. We are on Ancient Spires here, and this is why I actually love what is going to be happening in this game. I've got absolutely no idea how this game goes, but let's just talk a little bit about how we expect it to go. So, currently, the way it works on this match, or on this map, is that Mongols are so strong in the early game that other civilizations aren't even expanding in the early game to the water, because the Mongols are actually able to defend, or not to defend, to defeat any water expansion that happens. And now, what we've actually seen is we've spotted Trebuchet, who's going to be putting down an outpost in the middle of the map with his villagers to defend any potential threat. And the reason why the Mongols are so strong in the early game on water maps is because they are able to put their barracks on their Uvu. Can I get some Uvus in the chat? They put a barracks down on their Uvu, and essentially what they do is they are able to produce double spearmen because of that. And now you've got to think about it from every other player's perspective. Every other player, or every other civilization rather, is only able to make 1 spearman at a time, whereas they're able to make 2 spearmen at a time. And so what we've seen develop in the meta is that players typically, against the Mongols, just no longer expand to the water because it's so difficult to deal with. But it looks like Marine Lord has evolved a little bit in this scenario and actually decided to go for a stable instead, and going to be sending out double scouts. So curious to see exactly what he's going to be able to achieve with this. Spots that his opponent has gone outpost and dock. So perhaps we are seeing almost a little bit of evolution. And look at this, Trebuchet already with a defensive outpost on his gold mine. So doesn't want to be losing any units in the first age. So smart and so incredibly defensive. A beautiful playstyle from him. Now, there's a little bit of metagaming that goes on here. What is metagaming? So metagaming or meta, the concept of a meta is this idea that you can expect a game to go a certain way. So as an example, if you're playing on a hybrid map like this one, which you can see it's got, plenty of water, it's got plenty of water, and plenty of land where players are going to be playing. If they're playing the Abbasid Dynasty, you're going to be expecting them to be doing some sort of water boom, okay? Now, against the Mongols, he's going to know, picking the Abbasid Dynasty, that he's going to have a tough time. He knows that he's not going to be able to water boom, right? Well, not necessarily, because he's worked out a counter strategy. And subsequently, Marine Lord has realized that. So he said, hold on, he's picked the Abbasid Dynasty into the Mongols on this map, on this hybrid map? Well, he's absolutely crazy, isn't he? No, Marine Lord doesn't think that way. Marine Lord says, well, hold on, he must have worked something out. And that's why we actually see Marine Lord opening with a stable rather than a barracks in this situation, because it means that Marine Lord is trying his best to adapt. We continue to see these players adapt as the meta continues to move forward, shift forward as Genesis approaches. These players are really on the cutting edge. It was only 24 hours ago, I was watching someone stream, I think it was Hera, who is playing in the final round of 8 in Genesis, and he was specifically saying, you know, you can't beat Mongols on these hybrid maps. But already we see players now beginning to adapt to that situation. So very curious to watch. Now we've got Marine Lord beginning to push in towards this outpost. We can see that a number of villagers used to live here. They appear to have vacated the spot, actually heading over to the second pond that Trebuchet has got access to. And what we might do is just take a quick little look at the minimap and determine the balance. So there's no deep water fish down in this pond by the looks of it, so not the best pond. This is definitely a top tier pond, but have a look at the spawn for Trebuchet. He has got his base, and then he's got 3 ponds immediately next to him. Now, to be fair, Marine Lord's got this one as well. It's a very central pond, but I would definitely favor the spawn of Trebuchet. Trebuchet also taking a bit of damage right there to Marine Lord's early aggression. Keep in mind, we're only at the 6-minute mark, and he's continuing to attack. Also putting down the Deer Stones now, so Deer Stones are going to be going up in the base of Marine Lord. So not a bad opening for him so far. The fact that he's able to get this out, the fact he's able to boom on the water, 5 fishing boats. He's now actually going to be looking to siege down this outpost early in the game. Now keep in mind, this outpost was initially placed with the intention of being able to hold against any pike aggression, and Marine Lord has said, you know what, you're going to go for pike aggression, or losing a horseman there, unfortunate. If you're going to go for pike, or going to try and defend pike aggression, I'm not even going to go pike aggression. I'll go for cavalry. I'll get the mobility. You see him picking up the bounty right there, and that's not the only thing he's going to be picking up. We see he's actually picking off some villagers now, so the villagers are trying their best to heal this up, but he's getting off plenty of damage, actually not taking out any of those villagers, so not a bad effort there for Trebuchet, but my fear is that it's only going to be a matter of time. We actually didn't see a second bonus come up there for sieging this down. They're going to be losing these villagers now, trying his best. 3 villagers going to be going down. Scout also trying to get out, but Spear's going to be coming in for Trebuchet, but it looks like it might be a little too late. 1 villager still remains standing. 4 HP on that villager. It does go down, so already a pretty big victory in the middle right here for Marine Lord. So a really nice opening from him, and definitely going to be taking the early lead in this position. We see that Spearman just slicing up a couple of those units as a charge came in, but now going to be able to begin sieging down this dock. And keep in mind, if this dock does go down, there's going to be no real way for Trebuchet to sort of take advantage of this situation. We hear that Falcon going up into the air, the scouting Falcon. We'll take a look over at Trebuchet. Trebuchet now reaching the 2nd age. So going up with the economic wing, getting fresh foodstuffs in. No second town center coming down just yet at this stage, but has expanded out to the 2nd pond, where there is, of course, deep water fish. But keep in mind, okay, if Marine Lord becomes aware of this, which it almost appears he is aware of this indeed, he will begin sieging this down. Returning, it looks like he's actually just going to be picking up the bounty here, and then heading straight over to the 2nd dock. So he grabs the bounty. Is he going to continue sieging it down? A Dow coming out to try and hold on with defense. Actually going to be taking out an early horseman, but I do suspect there's going to be a 2nd Dow coming out. There is indeed. So Trebuchet looking to get that 2nd Dow out and secure this pond. If that Dow does come out, it will most likely be secured. Combine that with the spears that you've got on land. This Khan may actually be going down. Oh, Lord, the Khan has gone down. A little bit of a mistake there from Marine Lord. So not something that you see every day, but in addition to that, now Marine Lord going to be getting out a light junk and looking to get into a bit of a battle. Keep in mind, he's got these fishing boats here that are going to be able to heal this up, but now a 2nd dock going to be added into this pond. Spears now chasing away the remaining units and looking to secure that villager kill. They do actually pick that villager kill off, or that villager off rather. And now it looks like a bit of a battle going to be happening on this hybrid map. And I tell you what, light junk coming out now, 400 HP for it versus the Dow, which is on 500 HP. 8 attack versus 10 attack. 3 armor versus 4 armor. 3 burst attacks versus, there's so many factors, 4 burst attacks here. So light junk, got to be careful. I think it might be a little bit outmatched with the Dow, but obviously these players going to be able to continue healing up these units. But no dock out here means that these fishing boats are slowly but steadily going to be melted through. And this dock is actually healing up the light junk, and you can see Marine Lord having a very easy time in this water as he continues to trade out with the Dow. A 2nd light junk now going to be coming out for him, and that's almost certainly going to be sealing security of this pond. And at the same time, on the south of the northern pond, Marine Lord continues to expand with another light junk. So both players really doing their best to make sure that they're able to secure victory on these ponds. It's so important that they maintain their strength here. Archery range getting interrupted down towards the south. Trebuchet going to be picking up at least 1 villager. We see it lying there on the ground. as the transition was going to happen. Archery range now getting cancelled, making sure all of that gets returned back in. And finally, it looks like this last fishing boat will go down. And then finally, the Dhow will go down with it, but not before it takes a few with it. Let's take a look now. It's been a little bit of an action-packed game so far. That is to say the least. So we'll take a look over at Trebuchet's base, exactly what he's up to. Now, keep in mind, he's over on this pond. He's quite safe, but he doesn't know about Marine Lord, who's now going to begin pushing into with double light junk, really hoping to sort of take his opponent by surprise. Now, keep in mind, if there was only one light junk, he knows that there is a Dhow in here. He knows he's going to need to at least have a second light junk in this pond to be able to contest it. We'll take a look over at Trebuchet's base. Stable going to be dropped down for him. He's already got a barracks in here as well. Now, obviously spotting that his enemy has made an archery range. He did spot the second one that was trying to go down a bit earlier. So he is aware that his opponent is looking to transition. Mangadai now coming out as well. Plenty of... Oh my lord, the damage on that Mangadai was terrible. These guys do 24 damage each, so 34, so a lot of damage coming out, but now the 3 light junks going to be coming out for his opponent, Marine Lord, looking pretty strong in this position, and Abbasid Dynasty are going to be struggling because there is a Dhow down to the south, but keep in mind, this Dhow is going to get significantly outmatched by its opponent. We'll see how much damage is coming in, and Trebuchet now looking to secure a potential third age, going to be going up to the castle age, going to be going up with the culture wing, so having access to the medical centers as well as the preservation of knowledge. Now the question is going to be whether he's going to be able to hold onto this dock before he hits the castle age. Once he gets up to the castle age, he's going to be able to get out a single backler, and by having this backler, it's really going to enable him to just remain in control of that pond. But keep in mind, there is a potential for a land force to come in. Now, we can't see the HP of this, but there are early horsemen in here also going to be sieging this down. So Trebuchet in a bit of a difficult spot, I would say right now. Ranked number 1 on the ladder. Looks like he may be getting upset at the moment, as we do see Marine Lord beginning to pull ahead significantly in the score, up about 600, and Marine Lord proving why the Mongols are so damn strong on water. That double early unit production really helps them out when ideally you want to be spending a lot of resources. That's Marine Lord going up to the castle age right now. Not something that I actually saw. We'll take a look. He did go up with a step redoubt. So for anybody unfamiliar with this landmark, it's going to be increasing the amount of gold that he's going to be getting. So the way that it works, think about it as a villager dropping off 10 gold. It's going to essentially increase that by 50%, and you can see that they're dropping off 15s, it's stacking up to 30, so that one's going to be a 15 right there. So they're taking 10 gold out of this gold vein and converting it into 15 gold, so an incredibly strong landmark. Taking a look now over towards Marine Lord's push, you see he continues to track down these villagers, being so annoying. So more expansion. You guys see the villager? That poor villager. So more expansion coming out now for Trebuchet. And one of the things that we didn't see from Trebuchet, and that I do like to see a lot of on this map, is just taking every single pond. Especially as the Abbasid Dynasty, you've got cheaper docks, so you might as well do it. You go one down here, one in this pond, a dock over here, and a dock over here. And you literally expand to every single pond. Tower it up as well if you need to. Stay in the first age as long as you need. Just get spears out in the first age, fill up those towers with plenty of spears, and you're going to be absolutely fine. That's really the way I like to play it on these maps. But obviously these guys being rank 1, rank 2 on the ladder at the moment, no doubt going to be able to play it a little bit better than I am. So now we see Marine Lord coming in, getting a pretty decent raid off right here. He's got the Khan in, which is going to be providing him lots of line of sight. He's trying to get through this tree line, but you can see that he's been unable to do it. So it kind of looks like he should be able to get through right there, but unfortunately not going to be able to do it. So instead, running around the long way, Marine Lord definitely at a pretty strong advantage at this point, maintaining control of 2 ponds. Hasn't secured up this 3rd pond just yet, but we do see a Dhow is out to defend any potential damage that comes down onto that dock. And now we got ourselves a little bit of a cheeky ram raid coming in. Camel's going to be coming out. Camel Riders. Now, keep in mind the Camel Riders, these guys are actually light cavalry. So light melee cavalry, which means they're not armored. And so they're going to have a difficult time against the Mangadai. So we take a look at their movement speed, 1.62 movement speed versus the Mangadai, 1.62 movement speed. So they're going to be able to shoot, they're going to be able to scoot, but most importantly, they've also got the Khan upgrade. And now we see Lancers coming in as well for Marine Lord. This is a pretty standard combination that we do see out of the Mongols. They go for this Mangudai Lancer combination, very potent, and now finally going to be able to begin coming through. I don't know how he's got line of sight. There's a little bit of a weird tree line. He actually moved right through there. So I'm not sure how he's able to come in but not able to go out. But I want to take a look over at his opponent Trebuchet and just see what he's up to. Now keep in mind, he's being sneaky down here in a stealth forest. So even if Marine Lord ran past, he wouldn't be able to spot him out. But now, towards the north of the map, Marine Lord getting stuck in a little bit of a tough position. These camels though, keep in mind, this is what the difficult part is going to be. These guys can't heal up. These are not French camels. They don't get the right to heal up. So any of the damage that is taken from these guys, it is going to be sitting on there, it's going to be lasting on there. But take a look at the economy now. Players sitting at 43 villagers for Trebuchet. His opponent, Marine Lord, sitting at 61. So an 18 villager gap right now. And we begin to see a bit of a push towards the south of the map. Trebuchet deciding that he might go for a bit of a victory lap. But Marine Lord having a bit of a tough time. He's put off that attack speed arrow and having a great time on this woodline. I would expect to see a potential expansion over to this woodline. There's been so much harassment over here. These villagers are quite low HP, but now the push begins to happen. We see the camels beginning to move in and all buffed up by the Yam network. They are going to have absolutely no problem getting away those Mangudai. And keep in mind that all of the villagers are going to be getting buffed up. You can see how fast they move. And I would expect that with these rams, keep in mind, rams against the Mongols, not very effective because, as you guys know, they're going to be able to pick up their buildings and they're going to be able to move them on. Obviously, the Uvu did get depleted as well, so undoubtedly needs to move those to his next Uvu as well. Where is his existing Uvu? Surely he's began replacing it so far. Maybe down here to the south. Indeed, it is down to the south. So I would look to see him potentially pick these up. Maybe after he gets the Lancer out, he'll go for it. But now going to be coming in Mangudai on the back line. On the front line, he's got those Lancers. Keep in mind, the Lancers are armored units, having 6 armor and 4 melee armor. Compare that to the Camels, and the Camels just get absolutely shredded. So maybe the Camels need a little bit of a buff because you would expect them to do better, and it looks like Marine Lord going to take the victory. Trebuchet tapping out, rank number 1, going down. Once again, we are tracking the pros in the lead up to the Genesis. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be happening this weekend. So I'll catch you guys there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.